I believe students and parents deserve predictability, certainty, and peace of mind throughout the school year. Families across our province continue to endure hardship due to ongoing teacher union caused strikes. This continued, disproportionate, and disruptive strike action has resulted in millions of student days lost. Now, students are not in class preparing for math tests or getting help with their post-secondary applications. Students are not practicing for hockey tournaments or music competitions, and they are not learning the skills needed to succeed in their educational journey and in their future. And some students in schools and hospitals for vulnerable and sick kids have seen important services withdrawn as well, and that is just simply unacceptable. And enough is enough. It is time for a deal that keeps students in class where they belong. The government has been reasonable. We have made major moves at the negotiating table, moves that have not been reciprocated by the unions to date. However, we are fighting for Ontario students, and the unions will continue to advance requests for increased compensation, enhanced benefits packages, hiring practices that reward seniority, not merit. But I've been consistent. I want a deal that keeps students in class where they belong. We have tabled, this government has tabled, positive, reasonable proposals that are good for students. We've committed in writing to protecting full-day kindergarten. We've committed to keeping classroom sizes low. We've committed 100% investment in special education funding. And we've offered a fair 1% enhancement in compensation for our valued education workers and our teachers. We must commit to keeping the best interests of students at the forefront of education policy, and today I'm reaffirming that commitment. I want to reassure students and families that they will not see significant changes to classroom sizes when they start school this fall. Today, I'm telling school boards a policy change of our government and a plan for a maximum funded average for secondary class of 23 students starting in the 2020-2021 school year. This means secondary class sizes are remaining effectively the same as this year, and teachers will remain in their jobs. We're keeping some of the lowest classroom sizes in the country. There are no changes to classroom sizes for our youngest learners in junior kindergarten through grade 3. There are no changes to classroom sizes for students in grade 4 to 8. And grade 9 to 12 will see an average class size of 23. Students should graduate school with the skills needed to prepare them for the world of post-secondary education, the workforce, or whatever they dream of doing in the future of their lives. An innovative and modern education system will help Ontario students prepare for life after grade 12. We believe that by expanding online and integrated online learning courses into the educational system, students will be better prepared for the jobs and the workforce of the future. We also know that parents know best about how their children can adapt and learn through online courses. By giving parents the option to opt out of mandatory online courses required for graduation, parents, not unions, will make the decision that is best for their children. As students prepare to enter grade 11 and 12, parents will have the opportunity to engage with their student's guidance counselor to determine whether online learning is appropriate and beneficial for their child. Online learning supports students in building digital literacy and transferable skills to succeed in work, post-secondary education, and beyond. And our government will continue to develop a world-class online learning system that will remove the mandatory requirements for remove the mandatory requirements for graduation. This new online learning strategy will provide more course offerings, including STEM courses, which is critical to our prosperity, and it'll benefit students well beyond the classroom. Today, I'm also announcing the Support for Students Fund. The Support for Students Fund will provide school boards with the assistance for special education needs, unique learning needs, such as mental health, as well as STEM programming. The fund is consistent with the funding levels under the Local Priorities Fund, negotiating the last round of bargaining, which was mostly used for salaries. Now, the difference is that the Support for Students Fund will be focused on the priorities of students, not the unions. This measure reflects the voluntary agreement signed with both CUPE and EWAO, protecting frontline services such as special education workers, educational assistants, youth, and child workers as well. By committing to the Support for Students Fund, our government is building upon our already historic investment in special education, currently over $3.1 billion invested in assisting students in schools with the greatest needs. Students will also have the mental health supports they need to navigate through their educational journey. not only have those supports, but we're also improving the curriculum, starting in kindergarten, and also doubling the investments from over $40 million to help our kids get the supports they deserve. Today I have said, nothing I've said today is new to the unions in terms of our negotiating. They have known that these policies were on the table. On classroom sizes, we've been clear. They've continued to create, we've continued to believe that that is the best policy, keeping them low. And yet we've seen them continue to create disruption and challenges for parents and for students. And I want to be perfectly clear. The government has remained reasonable, student-centric in the face of escalating union action. Decades of cyclical job action by teacher unions have only hurt students and their families. The unions are fighting for their priorities, enhancing benefits and wages for some of the highest paid teachers in the country. And they're fighting for enhancements to an already generous benefit package. They're fighting for hiring practices that are based on seniority rather than on merit or diversity. And I, to be quite frank, am fighting for our students and have proven that through the reasonable and measured proposals today. My message is clear. I want to see the students in the classroom, and that is why I'm calling on the teacher unions to cease strike escalation and return to the bargaining table with this deal in mind, to get a deal, to provide predictability for parents, to end this impasse, and do what's right for our kids. I'm calling them to have constructive discussions at the table about outstanding items, including hiring practices. Further, I'd like to see the unions agree to a completely fair and reasonable 1% increase in wages and benefits. It's the right thing to do, and parents deserve no less.